pro-life conservatives are obsessed with the fetus from conception to 9 months. After that, they don't want to know about you. They don't want to hear from you. No, nothing. No neonatal care, no daycare, no Head Start, no school lunch, no food stamps, no welfare, no nothing. If you're pre-born, you're fine. If you're preschool, you're fucked. You're fucked.
In the immortal words of the late great Benny Hill. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, all. Welcome to another episode of What's New, What's New, a movie review. I'm your host, Dave Stewart, and this is another reaction video that I did, also on George Carlin. And this is from, I don't know which HBO special it was, but he did a little segment on euphemisms about how this country specifically changes the language to soften it, to make it more favorable, to basically bullshit themselves, as Carlin would say, about how it's going to make them feel. And this is a very well done skit. Carlin was a genius when he would talk about language and words and what words are used and what words are not used and how we use words on a daily basis to interact with each other and to help us look at things and alter things. And this was a great HBO special. So we're going to play this. We're going to watch it together. And then I'm going to talk about the segment when it's over.
There's a condition in combat, most people know about it. It's when a fighting person's nervous system has been stressed to its absolute peak and maximum, can't take any more input. The nervous system has either snapped or is about to snap. In the First World War, that condition was called shell shock. Simple, honest, direct language, 2 syllables, shell shock. Almost sounds like the guns themselves. That was 70 years ago. Then a whole generation went by, and the Second World War came along, and the very same combat condition was called battle fatigue. 4 syllables now. Takes a little longer to say. Doesn't seem to hurt as much. Fatigue is a nicer word than shock. Shell shock. Battle fatigue. Then we had the war in Korea in 1950. Madison Avenue was riding high by that time, and the very same combat condition was called operational exhaustion. Hey, we're up to 8 syllables now. And the humanity has been squeezed completely out of the phrase. It's totally sterile now. Operational exhaustion. Sounds like something that might happen to your car. Then, of course, came the war in Vietnam, which has only been over for about 16 or 17 years. And thanks to the lies and deceit surrounding that war, I guess it's no surprise that the very same condition was called post-traumatic stress disorder. Still 8 syllables, but we've added a hyphen. And the pain is completely buried under jargon. Post-traumatic stress disorder. I'll bet you if we'd have still been calling it shell shock, some of those Vietnam veterans might have gotten the attention they needed at the time.
Interesting.
I'll bet you that.
There is a big difference between shell shock and post-traumatic stress disorder. It is interesting. And they modified that through the years.
But it didn't happen. And one of the reasons is because we were using that soft language, that language that takes the life out of life. And it is a function of time. It does keep getting worse. Give you another example. Sometime during my life, toilet paper became bathroom tissue.
That's true. I remember that myself.
I wasn't notified of this. No one asked me if I agreed with it. It just happened. Toilet paper became bathroom tissue. Sneakers became running shoes. False teeth became dental appliances. Medicine became medication. Information became directory assistance.
Right.
The dump became the landfill. Car crashes became automobile accidents. Partly cloudy became partly sunny.
Yes, that one especially, yeah.
Motels became motor lodges. House trailers became mobile homes. Used cars became previously owned transportation. Room service became guest room dining, and constipation became occasional irregularity. When I was a little kid, if I got sick, they wanted me to go to the hospital and see the doctor. Now they want me to go to a health maintenance organization or a wellness center to consult a healthcare delivery professional. Poor people used to live in slums. Now the economically disadvantaged occupy substandard housing in the inner cities.
So true.
And they're broke. They're broke. They don't have a negative cash flow position. They're fucking broke. Because a lot of them were fired. You know, fired. Management wanted to curtail redundancies in the human resources area. So many people are no longer viable members of the workforce. Smug, greedy, well-fed white people have invented a language to conceal their sins. It's as simple as that. The CIA doesn't kill anybody anymore. They neutralize people. Or they depopulate the area. The government doesn't lie and engages in disinformation. The Pentagon actually measures nuclear radiation in something they call sunshine units. Israeli murderers are called commandos. Arab commandos are called terrorists. Contra killers are called freedom fighters. Well, if crime fighters fight crime and firefighters fight fire, what do freedom fighters fight? They never mention that part of it to us, do they? Never mention that part of it. And
he's able to make you laugh and think at the same time. That's rare talent.
And some of this stuff is just silly. We all know that. Like on the airlines, they say they want a pre-board. Well, what the hell is pre-board? What does that mean? To get on before you get on? They say they're going to pre-board those passengers in need of special assistance. Cripples. Simple, honest, direct language. There's no shame attached to the word cripple that I can find in any dictionary. No shame attached to it. In fact, it's a word used in Bible translations. Jesus healed the cripples. Doesn't take 7 words to describe that condition. But we don't have any cripples in this country anymore. We have the physically challenged. Is that a grotesque enough evasion for you? How about differently abled? I've heard them called that, differently abled. You can't even call these people handicapped anymore. They'll say, we're not handicapped, we're handy-capable. These poor people have been bullshitted by the system into believing that if you change the name of the condition, somehow you'll change the condition. Well, hey, cousin, doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. We have no more deaf people in this country, hearing impaired. No one's blind anymore, partially sighted or visually impaired. We have no more stupid people. Everybody has a learning disorder. Or he's minimally exceptional. How would you like to be told that about your child? He's minimally exceptional. Oh, thank God for that. Psychologists actually have started calling ugly people those with severe appearance deficits. It's getting so bad that any day now I expect to hear a rape victim referred to as an unwilling sperm recipient.
Oh, God. He is so good. He is so good.
And we have no more old people in this country. No more old people. We shipped them all away, and we brought in these senior citizens. Isn't that a typically American 20th century phrase?
Yes.
Bloodless, lifeless. No pulse in one of them. A senior citizen. But I've accepted that one. I've come to terms with it. I know it's here to stay. We'll never get rid of it. That's what they're going to be called, so I'll relax on that. But the one I do resist, the one I keep resisting, is when they look at an old guy and they'll say, look at him, Dan, he's 90 years young. Imagine the fear of aging that reveals. To not even be able to use the word old to describe someone, to have to use an antonym.
It's true.
And fear of aging is natural, it's universal, isn't it? We all have that. No one wants to get old, no one wants to die, but we do. So we bullshit ourselves. I started bullshitting myself when I got to my 40s. As soon as I was in my 40s, I'd look in the mirror and I'd say, well, I guess I'm getting older. Older sounds a little better than old, doesn't it? Sounds like it might even last a little longer.
So true.
Bullshit, I'm getting old. And it's okay, because thanks to our fear of death in this country, I won't have to die. I'll pass away. Or I'll expire like a magazine subscription. If it happens in the hospital, they'll call it a terminal episode. The insurance company will refer to it as negative patient care outcome. And if it's the result of malpractice, they'll say it was a therapeutic misadventure. I'm telling you, some of this language makes me want to vomit. Well, maybe not vomit. Makes me want to engage in an involuntary personal protein spill.
Now, a lot of people have asked me why I feel George Carlin is the greatest stand-up comic of all time. And one of the major reasons is, besides he was very talented, unlike a lot of other successful stand-up performers, he did not become a film star or a TV star. Now, he did have his own TV show. He did do the Thomas the Train. He was the conductor on that show. And he did a few other maybe supporting roles in movies. But unlike Richard Pryor or Robin Williams or Jim Carrey, he did not become a major film star, but I don't think he wanted to. But Carlin wanted to perform stand-up, and he did it a lot. And he continually worked on his craft, and I think that that's the main reason. I mean, he was always great. And everybody would say that him and Richard Pryor, greatest stand-up comics of all time. Lenny Bruce would be thrown in there a little bit. But he was the one that continued onward. And Pryor started making movies, and then Pryor got MS and retired very young. Carlin kept on going to his dying day, and he worked on his craft. And I just think he grew. And again, he was kind of controversial, but I ended up thinking he did better work as he got older, and that's saying something. Now, in terms of the skit that you just watched, what I love about it is it's just so true. I mean, especially when he says partly cloudy has now become partly sunny. It is funny how, especially in this country, can't speak for all cultures and other places in the world, but here in America, we definitely have this tendency to definitely soften the language to make ourselves feel better about ourselves, about the situation. And I just love that skit. Again, I have never seen any comedian do something like that. And maybe someone has, but I've never seen it. And again, he was a genius, funny and made you think, unlike any other comedian that I can think of. Or I put it this way, a lot of comedians try to do that, but he was the best. Anyway, in the immortal words of the late great Benny Hill, good night, viewers. Good night, all. We'll see you next time, and we'll see you at the movies, or in this case, at the next TV reaction video.